Can you actually receive an unlimited amount of one on one telehealth physical therapy sessions from a licensed physical therapist for less than $100 a month? I'm Lance. I consult in the therapy space, not just mental, but also physical. I serve physical therapy practices. And today I'm going to show you a physical therapy app that is either the best thing since sliced bread or Theranos 2.0, the health tech startup that defrauded, crashed, and burned. Physical therapy. There's an app for that, of course, and delivery of physical therapy online accelerated with the pandemic. Best of all, it actually works. For those unfamiliar, people are treated quite effectively online for physical pains with Zoom like tools that engage the therapist and the patient. Meet the OneStep app, the app the startup says puts a licensed physical therapist by your side and a motion analysis lab on your phone and thus in your pocket. OneStep harnesses the power of motion sensor technology to deliver highly customized recovery programs to patients suffering from knee and hip injuries. The app is capable of addressing other pain points, and I will speak to that in a moment. Links to OneStep and the app are in the description. The OneStep app enables you to know exactly where you're at in your recovery journey and what's required going forward, the exercise regime you need to perform to reach your goals. Plus, the app also functions as a matchmaking platform of licensed therapists with patients. From my perspective, what might make this app special is the motion sensor technology focused on gait analysis, which simply put is your pattern of walking. Gait is a vitally important indicator and predictor of a person's musculoskeletal, cardiovascular, cognitive, and neurological health. So it's very correct to say that you can indeed discern a lot about a person's health and wellness simply from their walking pattern, from their gait. What happens with this app, according to the startup, is a physical therapist can see your data in real time or shortly thereafter, and then communicate back to you with a freshly crafted instruction set of treatment based on your latest data, all from the analysis of your gait. Picture a reciprocal feedback loop in real time. You do the assigned physical therapy exercise. The physical therapist receives and assesses the data and issues your next progressive instruction set in your recovery journey. And according to the startup, this can happen on a daily basis, 24 hours a day, multiple times during the week. That pretty much describes the app, a gait analysis tool coupled with a physical therapist matchmaking platform. Now, what concerns me about this startup is the marketing. It's haphazardly reckless, and it need not be. They have a great thing going, and they're doing too much. Stay mindful of their top tier package that's $95, a flat fee, but you get unlimited one to one physical therapy sessions, telehealth physical therapy with a licensed physical therapist. That's very precise language, promising unlimited access to a highly trained and skilled professional. There's no wiggle room in that language and promise. If you look at their promotional videos on their site and YouTube with their physical therapists, they are clearly presenting the appearance of what is real one to one virtual telehealth physical therapy. That's a shot of one of their videos right there. And here's another. And there is the patient on the screen receiving the instruction online. So OneStep is presenting the real thing, one-to-one telehealth physical therapy delivered online. The business model is nothing new. It's essentially what Uber is, an independent contractor, multi-sided business model, and there are lots of similar physical therapy models like this. The leading perhaps being Luna. And it's worth noting their sessions are $125 each. Virtual physical therapy is another with this same model, and there you see their sessions are $89 each. OneStep is offering an unlimited amount of sessions over the course of a month for a flat fee of $95. For some comparison context, and I'm not going to get into copays and insurance, let's just talk straight out of the pocket costs in this comparison. 1 month, 4 weekly sessions. At Luna, out of the pocket, it's going to be $500. At virtual physical therapy, those 4 sessions, that's going to cost you about $360. With OneStep, it's going to cost you $95. How do they do it? What's really going on here? Let's drill down. Well, first we have to look at this word that has a very loose definition, sessions. On the low end, in the parlance of physical therapy, at minimum, that's a half an hour. However, in most cases, using the word sessions suggests 1 hour. Hence, if you go to Google and ask how much does an average session of physical therapy cost, they're going to respond defaulting your question to mean 1 hour. Why? That's the standard definition of session within physical therapy, 1 hour. Let's look at the details, the terms of agreement. Let's take a look at what OneStep will actually commit to in writing in contract. Now remember, there's what's marketed and there's what's delivered, and very often they're two different things. OneStep markets a network of independent contractors who are licensed physical therapists. It's all over their website. They drive this point home page after page. Okay, here's the section on their terms about their relationship with these physical therapists they speak of. Now, suddenly, they're no longer physical therapists, it seems. They refer to them in contract as providers, which allows for a very broad and loose interpretation. A significant frustration and pain point with people who are receiving physical therapy, especially at the larger chains, is with the traditional brick and mortar model, it's very common to go to your physical therapy appointment, perhaps spend 10 minutes with the actual physical therapist. The balance of the time, the remaining 50 minutes, you're probably engaging with an assistant in many cases, especially with the big box chains. This is how they achieve scale. It's also not unusual at all to have your physical therapy session shared with 3 or 4 other people. And so when OneStep markets and advertises one-on-one, that's a very, very big promise. This is very important. That red arrow is focused on the word aims. In context, it says OneStep aims to only work with independent, licensed, insured, and vetted professional providers. Alrighty, you have to ask, why does it not say what they very specifically and precisely market and advertise? Licensed physical therapists. Where did the licensed physical therapists go? Why the inconsistency? That's a major problem. Keep in mind, their intent is to be disruptive to actual physical therapists, and they market doing so with the promise of virtual licensed physical therapists. Yet, where the rubber meets the road, where you actually have to have your skin in the game, they take the promise of the marketing off the table. And that word aim, let's focus on that word aim. Why is it even there? What's its purpose? Be mindful, the word aim holds as much weight as saying try. Can you imagine Uber saying our aim is to make sure our drivers have licenses and insurance? How far would that fly? We have to be honest. That one word, aim, absolves them from responsibility of delivering on what they market and promise. The blue arrow, that's where OneStep discloses they cannot guarantee and explicitly disclaim the quality, accuracy, sufficiency, and fitness for the purposes of any and all services of these people they match you with. They're literally saying they are not willing to vouch for these people they match you with. So if you're keeping score, in marketing, yes. In actuality and contract, no. They're not willing to claim they're matching you with licensed physical therapists. Then they're not willing to claim these people they match you with are competent. So you see why I kind of view this as Theranos 2.0. Seriously, let me show you how this is supposed to be done with another company with the same model. Fizera was founded in 2015. They were bought by a larger company 5 years later for $30 million. dollars. With them, I think an initial session is about $100. Follow up sessions are about $50 a pop. This is probably the best value in this space, but what I want you to see is this. Their terms, you see that diagonal red arrow? They accept less than 0.1% of the physical therapists that try to get on their platform. That blue arrow shows you the physical therapists on their platform average 10 years experience, and that red triangle arrow, that shows you that their physical therapists have received training in virtual diagnostics in physical therapy. When you're in this business space and have this multi sided business model, you can't disassociate and exculpate your business, branding, and corporate culture entirely from your network of independent contractors. You have to say these people connected with your brand have been vetted and qualified as follows, and then outline your criteria. There are ways to minimize your legal exposure while assuring your customers there are reasons they are in competent hands. They do it quite well on the marketing side. This is all a big problem because the inclusion of that one word, aims, which is there to absolve you from delivering on the promise in the marketing, and the exclusion of what you promise in the marketing, licensed physical therapists, it all feels very bait and switch. You bait the audience on the promise of unlimited one to one sessions with licensed physical therapists, and then you switch it for something other than in the actual agreement. And what's disappointing about all this is their software actually looks very interesting and disruptive. This gait analysis software and the efficiencies therein in treating patients remotely that it presents. The thing that I would like to see them do is speak to agile project management practices and how their software creates what you can call agile healthcare management remotely. They position both the therapist and the patient to implement agile project management practices to your recovery, which in a nutshell means responding, revising, and adjusting to change on a daily basis. You can recover much faster with an agile approach to your recovery, and they deliver that. As for this promise of one to one unlimited physical therapy with 8 licensed physical therapists for the flat fee of $95 a month, they need to abandon that. That's when they look like Theranos 2.0. Licensed physical therapists have too many options than to be on the receiving end of a platform that delivers their services unlimited for a flat fee of $95 a month. They cannot build a responsible network with this model. What would be disruptive and refreshing is for them to speak truth about how the brick and mortar physical therapy industry works and how much engagement and delivery of services is performed by physical therapy assistants. It's a licensed profession, and they can possibly build a network of physical therapy assistants and not physical therapists that will still accomplish all they're aiming for. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, share it with a friend. If this is the kind of thing that interests you, definitely subscribe. I'm Lance. This is Therapy Grind. Until next time, take care.